If y'all want to gather around and get a few ideas about how to better select your baits, and we'll kind of fine tune it for you. If y'all don't know, I am Dennis Tietje. I was born and raised in South Louisiana, and I am a crawfish farmer. That's kind of where I've got my knowledge from. So all my friends used to call me and say, "Hey Dennis, what color's the crawfish?" Well, there's a reason why people ask what color the crawfish is, and I'm going to try to kind of lead you through how to, there's 150 colors of crawfish over there. Not everybody has the ability to go out and buy 100 colors of crawfish and put them in your tackle boxes. So I try to fine tune it a little bit. You can get technical with it, but first of all you need to do is really know the life cycle of the crawfish. Now, if you really want to get technical in your home lake, okay, there's crawfish all across the country, but if you'll take a little minnow trap or a crawfish trap and set it in your own lake, go and set it and catch some crawfish in your own lake, it'll give you a much better idea about what colors better suit your lake. Okay? Now, crawfish, let's start as a baby. Crawfish always start as green pumpkin. Okay? What's the #1 fishing color bait? We saw Jay actually throwing a Cinco a while ago. Green pumpkin. Green pumpkin is actually probably the #1 crawfish color bait that you can buy anywhere in the country. Okay? So what happens in the fall, okay, the crawfish, the adult crawfish come out the ground in September, October. They lay their eggs, their babies. They let them go. Those crawfish grow, and they're basically 1 to 2 inches long through December. Okay, so you want to start off with like a Rage Venice, okay, a small profile bait, an ultraviolet crawl worm, something small. The pinchers are very small. Not until the crawfish grow to a bigger size do they grow pinchers. So you want to always keep your pinchers small in the spring. Okay? Come January, February, those crawfish are going to grow, the water's going to heat up, those crawfish are going to start transitioning over from green pumpkin to reds and oranges. Okay? Now, depending on the amount of sunlight, the amount of heat, water temperature, depends on how dark they will get. Okay, if you get a crystal clear lake that has a lot of sunlight penetration, those crawfish are going to be much darker reds, black and blue. Okay, have you ever saw black and blue crawfish? There are black and blue crawfish. It's a pigment deal. Okay, and a lot of their pigments are reflective in clarity of the water, what they have to eat, their surroundings, okay? And the best way to train yourself in the springtime, y'all like to eat crawfish? Okay? What happens when you take a green pumpkin crawfish, a little crawfish, and you throw it in a hot boiling pot of water? What happens? It turns red. The same concept you can use while you're fishing. When the water's cold, that crawfish is going to be more green pumpkin than it is red. Okay? Now, you'll have somebody go, "Oh no, I caught a crawfish and he was dark red." Okay. You have to remember that when a crawfish turns red, okay, when it turns red, he is never going back to green pumpkin. Okay, that crawfish will never go lighter in color ever, ever, ever. When it becomes an adult, it varies up. When the water temperatures get to 75 to 80 degrees, especially up toward 90, those crawfish are burying up. That's why shad became a big food source for the bass, okay? So, you know, when those crawfish first come out the ground in October, those crawfish are the adult crawfish that buried, and they are red, okay? So you will, I don't care what time of year, you will always have red crawfish. You will always have green pumpkin crawfish, okay? So it's very important to set you a trap or pay attention to the watercolors, you know, that dictate, you know, the color changes in the crawfish. So, you know, the only other thing I like to do, especially in the springtime, we're faced with off-color water, okay? So we always talk about that, you know, a lot of times the crawfish, they're green pumpkins. They're the same color as the water. How do you combat that? Does color really matter? Probably not. Okay? So how do you combat it? You make your bait sound like a crawfish. Okay, that's when your sounds come into play, your scents come into play. Okay? Sound is the biggest factor in crawfish. If you know, we eat a lot of crawfish. Okay? I mean, I'm from South Louisiana, we eat a lot of crawfish. So every time you put a basket of crawfish down there, fixing to cook them, what do? They click, okay? Man, the best thing you can do is make a bait that clicks, okay? Whether you're throwing a Strike King red-eye shad, a rattle bait, you're imitating the clicking of that crawfish. What I like to do always when it's off-color water, I always put a bobber stop on my line, okay? I put a weight and I put a glass bead ahead of my hook, okay? Now what I do, I'll slide that bobber stop down to within a 1/4 inch of that weight, so it'll still fall as one unit, but yet it'll give room to click. And when you flip it in a bush, like here on Travis, and that was a big player in this tournament, if you'd have heard Jamie Horton on stage today, he said all you had to do was throw it in there, but you had to shake it. Shaking it causes that click. That click sounds like a crawfish, and that bass is looking for crawfish. So that'll increase your success. So, you know, what I try to tell everybody when you're fishing crawfish, keep it simple. Start when you have adult crawfish in the fall. You can use big pincher baits, you know, rage craw, big ones. When the babies become most predominant, use a small bait, you know, a Strike King rage, you know, rage menace, or ultraviolet crawler, something small pinchers. By April, May, June, go back to your big pincher baits. And that'll, all you're doing is matching the hatch. You hear so much of that. So if any of y'all have crawfish questions, I'll be glad to stick around and try to answer some for you. And at the end of the day, just keep it simple. So I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
come on out and see Dennis. He'll be here. Thanks, Dennis. Thank you. And